I've played Geoguessr on and off for a few years now, but I've never got very good at it, and I thought I'd like to improve and learn some of the tips and tricks that really help you get close guesses. I'm hoping to record my progress here, and hopefully some of you can watch along and learn something as well. I've taken a lot of inspiration from Geoguessr and Jack Sucks at Geography. They've both got really great Geoguessr channels, and yeah, big shout out to them. And I'm going to get started here. I'm going to play, I'll play one game just to sort of test out how I'm going, and then I'm going to try and learn some specific meta, and I think I'm going to focus on Europe. So I'll do one continent, and then maybe in a later video I'll look at different continents. So I'm going to do just a quick game here, see how I go, and then I'll see if I can learn some things to improve. So first round here looks to me like it could be South America potentially. It's a little bit tropical. I do know a few things to look out for. I know in Colombia there's yellow number plates typically, so I'm thinking we're probably not in Colombia. I think it looks, even though there's palm trees, it doesn't look too tropical, so I'm thinking somewhere like potentially Peru, maybe, yeah, Argentina, Chile, Uruguay. I think I might go Argentina here potentially. Okay, and it was in Buenos Aires, so not a bad guess. Next round here, this looks like Europe, and I think this is Hungarian language. It's quite, it's fairly distinctive. I think once you've seen it a few times, there seems to be a lot of SZ combinations and these accents on some of the vowels. So yeah, I'd be, and there's a Hungarian flag there, so that pretty much confirms it. I'm not going to try too hard to get a great guess here. I don't really know how I would do any better than random, so I'm just going to guess somewhere near the middle. And okay, it was actually very far east, but we do get the right country. Okay, next round here, I'm looking at English language, some brick buildings. This looks quite a lot like England maybe. It's pretty overcast and rainy, so I think that would be pretty normal, and we are driving on the left. Keep Belfast clean. Okay, so this is a pretty useful sign. These are the sort of things you've got to look out for. So presumably we are in Northern Ireland actually here. So should be able to get decently close. Belfast, and I think I'm just going to guess somewhere just outside the centre. And yep, it was a bit further north, but not too bad. Next round here, it's going to be a lot harder. We're in the middle of nowhere, and some of the I think some of the clues to look out for, even things like the Google car, the road lines, sometimes signposts and bollards on the side of the road. I'm not too good at them, so I don't really know what sort of a clue this car would be giving me, but for a more experienced player, I think that's definitely a clue to look out for. This is very flat. There's not really any trees. I do think the yellow double road lines are more often found in the Americas, I think, rather than Europe, for example. So I would say we're probably in somewhere like Chile or Argentina here. It's pretty flat, so I think I might go somewhere like, it's fairly dry as well. I might go somewhere out here in Argentina, but I'm not too sure. And actually it was much further south. It was Argentina, but yeah, right down the bottom. And okay, so that's the end of the round. I'll exit that one. And what I'm going to do is I found these learnable meta maps. I found are really good. So you can make a guess, and it'll tell you what you should have looked out for basically in the round that would have given you a clue. So there's a learnable meta world, which will give you locations all around the world, or you can go more specific. So I think I'm going to try for learnable meta in Europe, and there's probably a few options here, so I think I might just go for the first one. Learnable meta Europe, and let's get into it. Okay, so Rue Albert Boyer, that would look French to me, I think. I'm not sure that there's much else to go off here. I think these sorts of polls I actually thought were more like in Hungary or Poland, but I don't think that language on the street sign would line up with that. So yeah, I think this is probably France based on the language here. So, and it was France, a lot further south. And the clue to look out for, so this map here will, after you guess, it'll tell you what the clue was. So rue, we did notice, is the French word for street, so that's very useful. And it says here it also can be found in Belgium, so that's probably good to be a little bit aware of. Okay, next round here, this looks probably a little bit Scandinavian to me. I'm not sure what there is to go off here. Sometimes there's a clue with the car, sometimes I think probably these road markings on the side are unique, but I'm not too sure what they would mean. I'm gonna go for somewhere like Sweden here, I think, and yeah, I'm just gonna guess there. Okay, it was actually Norway, but extremely far north, so I sort of missed the vibe a little bit on that one. And so it was the long dashed lines on the side of the road that tells you that that was Norway. Alright, so we'll get into the next round here. This is somewhere pretty remote. We have English language, and I think I have seen this clue before actually, that this passing place I think is only found in northern Scotland. It's quite a sort of distinct sign to see, so I'm gonna go pretty much somewhere, I mean it could be, I'm not too sure really. I might go somewhere here. It doesn't look too mountainous, so I think, I'm not sure if these are mountains or not actually, but I think I'll go somewhere over here. And yeah, it was a little bit further south, but not too bad. So those white passing place signs, yeah, they're pretty distinctive, and they will generally tell you that you're in Scotland. Okay, so next round. Okay, I'm not too sure what I should be looking at here. Maybe it's this pole. I know those power poles can be a little bit unique to different countries, so potentially this design where the wires are attached could be the clue, but I'm not too sure what to do with that information. There's a little bit of language here, but it's a bit too far away to read. Don't think there's anything else really I can use, so this is a bit of a tough one. I'm not too sure where to go, but it feels fairly generic, sort of Central Europe to me. Could be wrong, but I might just go somewhere like Poland and hope for the best. So actually, yeah, it was a lot further south. It was in Bulgaria, and the clue here, it was that pole, and the alternating hooks holding up the insulators was the clue. Alright, and moving on to the last round, let's see where we are. It's again pretty remote. Alright, we do have a little bit of language here, and I think this will be Denmark. I think the V on the end, V-E-J, is the Danish word for street. I'm not sure if it's used in other countries, like maybe Sweden or Norway as well, but I think that this should be Denmark based on that, so don't really have too much else to go on. It's pretty rural, so I won't go in any big cities, but I think I'll just go probably somewhere near the middle of the country and hope for the best. So yeah, it was actually a little bit further north, over on a small island, but it was Denmark. So the clue there is it was the word for street, so pretty distinctive and good to keep an eye out for. Alright, and so we got 15,000 points for the round. It's not the best, but I think I've learned a couple of clues there, so I might try it again and see if we can do any better. Alright, on to the first round here. I think the clue here is going to be these bollards on the side of the road. They are pretty unique to certain countries in Europe. I'm not too sure in this case what these ones, which country they're from, but I think that's probably going to be the clue to go off. So I'm just going to have to guess here. I mean, it's pretty hot and dry looking. I might go somewhere like Spain, but it could easily be a bunch of different countries. I'll try Spain and see how we go. And yeah, it was Greece, but the clue here to look out for is the Greek bollard. So so they have a red reflector on the front, is it? And a white reflector on the back. So that's pretty useful to look out for, and does look like they're similar to the Andorra bollard as well. But so it says the landscape and vegetation will be different between the two. So that's a pretty distinctive bollard to keep an eye on. Alright, next round here. Can't really see any signs that we'll be able to read. And I'm not too sure what I can go off here. There's a sign for deer, but I think you could get deer in a lot of different countries. I think this almost feels like Germany maybe, or could be Denmark again. I'm not too sure how I should tell. I don't know if these signs are a clue. Maybe they are. Yeah, it does feel like it could be Denmark pretty easily again, so maybe I'll might go somewhere south just in case it is Germany. And let's see. Okay, so yeah, it was Denmark, and so the clue was the curved signpost. So I didn't know that was unique to Denmark, but that is pretty distinctive actually. So should be able to keep an eye on that, I think. All right, next round here. Someone giving us a wave. They look pretty happy. Okay, we have a sign, and this one, this word is the word for street, and I think it's in Lithuanian or Latvian maybe, from memory. I have seen this before, so I think we could easily be in the Baltics here, so I think one of those countries should be pretty safe, and luckily they're close together, so I might guess somewhere. I don't know if there's anything else that'll give it away here. I might just guess somewhere in northern Lithuania and hope for the best. Okay, yeah, so it was Latvia actually, and the Latvian word for street is iela. So we'll only find that in Latvia, so that's I've got to remember that. I couldn't quite remember if it was Lithuania, but so Latvia uses the word iela. All right, round 4 here. We are, where is this? Gunbook. Ooh, is this the curved sign again? That looks a lot like the curved sign we just had in Denmark. This didn't exactly look like Danish. I would have guessed almost more like Dutch or German, but Arena Bornholm, I guess it could be Denmark. Could it be up here? I guess it could be somewhere like this. Maybe I'll go here, might be a bit safer. And okay, it was actually a little island. And the sea was more to the east, so somehow I mixed up the angles there, but yeah, so it was Denmark, and it was the curved signpost, so that's pretty good. We've been able to actually use that clue straight away. So we'll go on to the last round here and try and figure this one out. Hopefully there's a sign, but it doesn't look like it. Okay, so we have dashed roads. Dashed road lines, which I think on the Norwegian round they were longer than this, but I think the clue actually said that Sweden had the shorter lines. I don't know if any other countries use the dashes, but I think I could believe that this is Sweden. Don't really see any other clues, so I think I'm just going to guess somewhere near the south and see. No, so it was actually France. Okay, and the clue here was the bollard, which is apparently extremely recognizable. Okay, so yeah, it does look a bit different to some of the others we've seen so far. And so yeah, they'll have a red stripe or a grey stripe, it looks like, going all the way around. Okay, so good to know, not too bad there. We got, yeah, so 14,000 points, not the best. I might try it once more, and then maybe I'll go into a duel and see if I can use some of these clues in a game. Alright, so we'll get the next game started. Okay, this one looks to be like... This looks more Eastern European to me. It could even be Russia, maybe. This car looks kind of Russian. Could be Bulgaria or Ukraine. Sometimes they can look quite similar. Is that Cyrillic writing, maybe? It's a pretty serious looking guy. I wonder if he's in the army. Yeah, this looks like I've got a red car. I don't know if that could be a clue of some sort. Something like this. Let's see. Okay, so it actually was Ukraine. And the clue was the red Google car. Okay. With or without an antenna is always in Ukraine. Okay. The car may not always be visible, so don't rule out Ukraine if you don't see it. Okay, so that's a pretty good clue actually. So if you see a red car, you will be in Ukraine, but it's not always there. So good to keep an eye out for. Alright, and second round here. This is a bit of a strange looking language. I'm not sure quite what that is. Okay. I think this is Portugal actually, with the yellow on the number plate. I think most European countries I think only have the blue stripe, but I think Portugal has blue and yellow. So and actually, yeah, I think actually as well, these sort of terracotta orange roofs are quite Portuguese looking. It could almost look like Latin America, I think, otherwise, but, or, you know, I know that we're in Europe because of the map and the license plate there, but it could look a little bit like Latin America as well. But yeah, I think we should be in Portugal here. I'm not too sure where. I might go... Looks fairly warm. I might go southish, maybe near Lisbon, and we'll see. Yeah, so it actually was even a bit further south. And the meta here to learn is actually the cobblestone sidewalks. which are very common in Portugal. So I did see those, but I didn't know that that was a clue. So that's a good one to know. Ooh, all right, next round we're sort of in the middle of nowhere here. Okay. Rifts in the sky. This is another one that I've seen. This is pretty common in southern Europe. I think it's maybe Albania and North Macedonia, I think, have this. This looks, yeah, it's pretty rural. I might go somewhere on this river. Let's see. And, oh, no, actually it was Montenegro. So it's most commonly found in, okay, so it's Albania or Montenegro. If you don't see it, don't rule out these countries. Okay, so I'm not sure how you would know actually which one of those countries it was, but anyway, we're not too far away there. Okay, next round. I think probably these bollards again will be the clue, but I don't think I know what to do with that information. Looks pretty northern. I guess these tall, sort of thin pines would be somewhere like Finland or Estonia, I think. Could be way off there, but yeah, I think probably these bollards would be the clue, but I'm just not sure what they are. So I'll go Estonia, yeah. And, oof, no, actually we're way off. So the meta here, this is a bit of an interesting one. All the coverage in Switzerland is taken with a low cam. The only other two countries with low cam are Japan and Sri Lanka. You can recognize the low cam by the wide blur of the street view and the lower vantage point. That's interesting. I might have another look actually at this location and see. It's pretty subtle. I'm not sure I would have actually picked up on that. So I guess the blur of the Google car does go into the other lane there and a little bit out onto the side of the road. So maybe that's wider than normal, but I'm not sure that I actually would have noticed that at all. It's a bit of a tricky one. Maybe on the next round we'll take a look at the Google car blur and see if it looks different. But yeah, that's Switzerland. It's a bit of a tricky one. Go next. And it's sort of hard to compare here because the roads are very different, but maybe that's a little bit narrower. Yeah, hard to say. Okay, so this round we have cobblestone. So this could be Portugal again, based on the clue from earlier. And yeah, I think that language would probably line up with Portugal. And again, we have the terracotta roofs, so it's all pointing towards Portugal, and the yellow number plate and actually a little P there. So I think I'll go probably maybe a similar location. It feels quite like the last Portugal round, so maybe somewhere down here. And actually this time it was Lisbon, or just out of Lisbon. And the clue here is the word rua, which is Portuguese for street. So not too bad. And so 15,000 points again, so not the best, but I've definitely learned a couple of clues there. So hopefully you've picked up on some of those as well, and yeah, can get some closer guesses in Europe. I might do one more of those, and then I will get into maybe a duel against another player and see if hopefully we can use some of those skills and yep, hopefully get a win. Okay, but the next round here we are back in Europe. Obviously that's the map, but this looks a little bit strange. Maybe Eastern Europe. Again, could be Russia or Ukraine. Do we have a red car? No, but it still could be Ukraine. Yeah, I'm not really too sure what to go off here. Ooh, actually, this concrete pole, I think this will be the clue. Do we have any more? Yeah, there's a couple of them there. Yeah, these concrete poles, I think with the holes in them, where you can see through, I think they're found in Poland, Hungary, and maybe Romania, that they look like this. So I don't know if they come up in any other countries, but I think that's a pretty good starting point. So yeah, I'm not too sure. I thought it looked a little bit like Ukraine, so maybe I'll go Romania here because it's, you know, sort of nearby, although Hungary is as well, and Poland. So yeah, not too sure. I'll go Romania and see. Yes, it was actually a pretty close guess there, just by luck. And yeah, the holy poles, they're called, usually painted white at the bottom, are common in Romania. I did actually, did see a bit of white paint. Okay, and here we can compare them. So Hungary looks like the same but without any paint. Poland also the same but no paint. And Hungary has paint on the bottom. So that's pretty good sort of clue. So I guess Poland and Hungary are pretty similar. It says here. Or Polish poles have smaller holes that don't go all the way to the bottom or the top. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So actually, maybe based on that, you should be able to get the country just based on those poles, which is pretty handy. And okay, next round here. This looks like it could be England or Ireland, maybe. It's very green, sort of. Looks like there could be some farming over there. And yeah, don't really have anything else much to go on. There's no language I can see. So I think I'll go Ireland and see how that looks, somewhere like this. And yep, it was Ireland, so not sure why though. Yellow dashed lines are super common in Ireland. Okay. Yeah, okay, the yellow road lines. I'm not sure if they're unique. Well, you get them in New Zealand as well. I don't know if there's anywhere else in Europe you'd get those or not, but yeah, that did look like Ireland, so that's good to know. Alright, next round. Okay, we have the Scottish passing place. So yeah, pretty good clue. This white sign is going to be Scotland. It looks pretty cold, pretty mountainous, I guess, to the north. And yeah, I think we can go safely somewhere up in the north of Scotland, like this. And okay, it wasn't that far north, but it was indeed northern Scotland. Alright, next round here we have dashed lines again. So does that mean... It doesn't look like Norway or Sweden. We do have these bollards, which I think are probably going to be a useful clue, but I don't really know what to do with them. Yeah, we have the dashed lines, but I don't think this is Sweden or Norway. It does look fairly north, I guess, with these sort of pine trees and all these ones with no leaves. So it's a fairly cold sort of climate. Yeah, I might go Lithuania here. I'm not sure why. Maybe Poland. Do we see any poles with holes in them? No. Those don't look like they would have holes. Maybe they do. Yeah, maybe I'll go Lithuania. Ooh, okay, and it was... Wow, it was actually very close in Lithuania, so that's a pretty good guess. And the clue was the bollards. So rectangular shaped, wedge shaped, sorry, with rectangular reflectors on an orange one on the front and a white one on the back. is Lithuania. So that's a pretty useful clue, but really nice guess there. Pretty pleased with that. We'll move on to the next round, and wow, this is pretty dramatic sort of landscape. I guess this could be like Iceland or maybe Scotland again. I don't see any passing place signs. Oh, there is a bit of language there, but it's a bit too far to read. I wonder if that's... yeah, I'm not too sure. I think this is probably Iceland though, actually. It's not many trees out in the countryside, which I think is... you do see that in Iceland. So I'm pretty happy to go with that. We have sea to the south. So probably just go somewhere here near Reykjavik. Maybe I'll go on this little point. And okay, it was a bit further north, but yeah, it was Iceland. And the clue here to look out for is actually the yellow bollards with a white reflector. Okay, I didn't actually notice those, but they must have been there. So yellow poles you don't really see in many countries at all. Maybe it is only Iceland, so that's a good one to know. So that's the 5 rounds. We've got 22,000 points, so pretty good actually, pretty good round that time. And I think I've managed to get the country correct each time, which is nice. So yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Hopefully you've learned something. I definitely have. I think I'll do another video like this on Europe and try and just really learn a few more clues about Europe, and then probably move on to maybe South America or Africa or Asia, and pick up some meta from different continents. So hope you've enjoyed. It's my first video, so if you've enjoyed it, hope you can follow along and learn a couple of things with me. So thanks for watching, and see you later.